Hello everyone, Alex here from WarnOffKeys.com, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can create a server information command. In the previous video we went over how to use embeds, and we're going to be using that in this video. There is a link to a GitHub repository in the video description so you can clone this project. However, we do only have a very basic project here along with a very basic command handler, so you can write these out if you want, or you can clone from the video description. To get started, we're going to import our command handler, so constant command equals require command, and then we're going to create a very basic command handler, passing in the client, the command which will be server info, and then a callback which will contain the message. We're then going to simply say message.channel.send coming soon, and let's just make sure that this works. If we save this, and if we run our code with node index.js, it says the client is ready. Going to our testing server, we can run !server info, and we see coming soon, so this seems to be working so far. If we delete these messages, we can then gain access to the guild. We can destructure it from message, so message.guild is a property, and we can destructure that into its own variable using the syntax. To see what's inside of here, we can console log guild. We save this and we restart our bot. We could then run !server info, and we see a bunch of information here. So scrolling all the way to the top, we see a list of members, we see a list of channels, a list of roles, and a bunch of other things. Now there's some information here that is not inside of its own array or object that is useful, such as the name here is WarnOffKeys. We have the region, and so we're going to destructure some of those pieces of information into their own object. So name and region equals guild. Let's see what else we might want to have here. Member count is one of them. Okay, so this is a lot of information. However, this isn't everything. So if we go to the official Discord.js documentation, which is at discord.js.org, a link to this will be in the description, and we click on the documentation tab, we could then do a search for guild, and we see on the left this guild option right here. If we click that, we're going to see a list of properties and methods. So a couple things that are going to be useful is the icon URL. If we click on this, we see that it is going to get the URL to the guild's icon. So to confirm this, we can say const icon equals guild.icon URL. And let's start console logging some of this information. So we have the name, the region, the member count, and the icon. If I save this and I restart our bot, going back to Discord, we can run the server info command again, and we see a lot of other information here. This is all from the console log previously, so we can actually comment that out. But we see this line right here, WarnOffKeys, which is the name of the server, which we see right here. And then because we're separating these with a comma, it's going to add a space in between each of them. And so we see the region, the member count, but then here we see a URL, and this is going to be the actual image for the icon. So let's see what else we can grab by looking back at the documentation. If we go back, we can see an owner ID. However, we also see an owner object. And so if we grab that, just by destructuring it like normal, owner, we can console log that onto its own line here. If we save this and we restart our bot, we can then go back into Discord and run server info, and we see this object right here. Now this is a guild member object. We can see that because it says it right here. And we have a bunch of information. So we have this user object here. And so if we go into guild member and we go to our properties, we see a user and we see type is user. So if we click on this, it should go to the documentation for this. The reason why I'm doing this is because the console log isn't going to show absolutely everything. And so we're able to get some more information here. For example, we see the username, however, we don't see the actual tag. And so we can access that. If I click on this, it's going to give us the actual tag, which is going to be our username, and then the hash symbol, and then our ID. Now we can kind of get this through the username and the discriminator right here. However, this seems like a cleaner approach. So we're going to actually access that. So we can console log owner.user.tag. And if we restart our bot, we go back to Discord and we run server info. We get an exception because I misspelled owner. All right, let's make sure to spell it correctly. And if we restart our bot, and try again. We then see our full tag right here. And if I copy this on Discord, so if I then paste this into the text field, we see that this is the exact same tag, and so that works. If we go back to our guild, we can then get more information here. Let's say we want the AFK timeout. If we click on this, this is going to be a number. So we can confirm this by restructuring it here, AFK timeout, and then we can console log this after the icon. If we save this and we restart our bot, we can then run !server info, and we see the AFK timeout is 900. So now what we can do is we can use all of this information, and instead of console logging it, we're going to send this to the user in embed. So we can say const embed equals new discord.message embed. We're going to say set title. This is going to be a template literal, and we're going to say server info for, and we're going to insert in the name, which we've already destructured right here. We can set the thumbnail to the icon, and let's see what this looks like so far. So we can get access to this channel through message.channel, and then we can send the embed using .send and passing in the embed. If we save this and we restart our bot, we could then go into our server here and run !server info, and we see right here server info for Worn Off Keys, which is the name of the Discord, as we can see on the top left. And this is the actual icon that is right here on the server itself. So we can now add more information. We can say add fields, and this is going to take in a number of objects that are going to have a name and value. I'm just going to copy and paste a few of these in here. So I'm going to include the comma here. And so if I cut this, we should see nothing. And then if I keep pasting and then I save, Pretty will automatically format this, and we see a number of different options we have here. So with that said, I'm now going to send some of the information here. We already mentioned the name inside of the embed, so I'm not going to mention that. We can say the region is region, members, member count, the owner is owner, AFK timeout, it's going to be AFK timeout. We can actually divide this by 60 because I believe that the 900 is in seconds, and that's all the information we have here. Actually, this owner should not be there because that's an actual object. And so we want to say owner.user.tag. Now we can get rid of these excess ones. Obviously, you can add as many as you want, and you can add whatever information you can find in the documentation. So if we scroll all the way up under guild, you'll see all the properties here that you can access, as well as all the different methods that you can access that'll give you more information. One of the methods we're using is icon URL. So there is some useful stuff in here. So we go back and we save this and we restart our bot. We could then run !server info, and we see this information right here. So we see server info for Worn Off Keys and the icon as expected from previously. Then we have the region, the member count, the owner, and the AFK timeout, which is 15 minutes. And so everything seems to be working. And that is how you're going to create a server information command. Thanks for watching this Discord.js tutorial. If you want to learn more about Discord.js, consider clicking on the playlist you see on your screen now. If you need help, feel free to leave a comment or ask in the Worn Off Keys Discord, which can be found in the video description.